Hey everybody, Jade here once again, live in the virtual rock room. Today we're supposed to be joined by Johnny Stevens of Highly Suspect, so we're going to wait for him to join us. Of course, we've talked to a bunch of other people already. Yesterday we talked to Tyler of Theory of a Dead Man. Last week we had Sean from Grey Days, Rival Sons, and Tarek of the Blue Stones. So you guys can check those out. We actually saved the videos, put them on YouTube, and they're up on our website now at WRIF.com. So make sure you guys check them out. We've got a bunch more coming up. This Friday we're going to talk to Skillet. We're also going to talk to the guys from Dirty Honey. And so it should be a great time. So hope you guys are holding up well. Certainly a weird time, but you know, we're doing what we can, right? So, love all the people that are waving at us. What have you guys been doing? What's everyone been up to? I bought a basketball. The hoop has not come yet. We do have our good friend Blake Griffin holding up the phone today once again. So, appreciate you, Blake. Hopefully we'll get some sports back sometime soon. Might not be until next year, but we'll have to wait and see. So what are you guys up to? I ordered some puzzles. Have you guys been doing a lot? Learning German. Good. I like that. Working from home. A lot of people working from home. Question, are you guys wearing pants? Are you doing Zoom calls from your bathroom? Because apparently that's a big thing. There's a big story up on our website right now. Dave and Chuck talked about it. Someone in the bathroom. Their husband was taking a shower. Backyard looks better than ever. Awesome. Awesome. Arts and crafts. Enjoy that. I want to do a puzzle. I have one puzzle at my house. I ordered a couple online. They have not arrived yet, but also my cat, Miss Carl, she doesn't allow that. She does not allow that to happen. No pants, doing my nails. Thank you, Shelby. Oh, wow, you said some things to your teachers. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know it is snowing again. What the hell is that about? Thank you guys for tuning in to Dave and Chuck, Walks with the Dog. Hello, Arthur. Once again, we're just waiting for our good friend Johnny from Highly Suspect to join us. Hello, what's up, Brian? A lot of you guys playing guitar, that's very cool. We're working on setting up a bunch of live streams with a bunch of people, so stay tuned. Obviously, this is such a weird time, and what we're doing right now is super weird. So, you know, they come as people are sitting at home and not busy. You haven't burned down the house yet. All right, MSU girl. Good job. I have not either. I've been cooking a ton, which I don't mind cooking, but as I mentioned on the chat last week with Tarek, I don't have a dishwasher, so I have to do tons of dishes every day dishes. I still have dishes from 2 days ago that I've not done. So turns out my cat doesn't do anything. Any minute now, Johnny. My friend who works with him, it was like, hey, if you don't see him in a few minutes, text me. I'm like, well, I'm using my phone, so you guys will get to see the double chin angle if I have to text my buddy, making sure that Johnny gets on with us. Lots of baking, a lot of people baking. Have you guys done banana bread? Nice, a grilling goddess. I don't have a grill, although I'm thinking about making hamburgers tonight. I'm gonna have to stop at the store because I'm running out of food, which is also a problem, but that's okay. I've been living on shredded cheese. Oh, okay, Highly Suspect has requested to join us. Go live with Highly Suspect. Waiting, connecting. Hey, there he is. Hey, Johnny, how are ya?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of
Hanging
course, of
out
course.
in quarantine and lockdown and everything else. And so, what have you been doing? Where are you at right now? You look like you're in a bunker.
I am in a bunker.
Is it a secret bunker?
It's a secret bunker. Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, New York right now.
Yeah, that's what I had heard. So, obviously, New York's pretty crazy right now. So, how is that? How's that working out for you?
I mean, it's weird, right? Like, New York's always kind of a crazy spot. Fuck, sorry. It's always kind of a crazy spot, but like, it's definitely weirder now than it's been since I've been here, and I've been here for over a decade, so I've never seen it like this. As I was tuning in, you said you had to go grocery shopping today.
Yeah.
Is that a strange time for you?
It's weird. It's definitely weird. I've been kind of stocking up and putting stuff in the freezer so that I don't have to go that often. But, everyone's got masks on, everyone's got gloves,
Yeah.
sanitizing shopping carts. And so they've got marks on the grocery store floors, like stay 6 feet apart from everybody. And
Yep.
so, yeah, so it's definitely, this is something that none of us have ever lived through. So I guess we are in it together. Although I will say that I'm tired of hearing everybody say that. But,
Yeah.
It's
It's so interesting to be in something together where we're supposed to be alone.
right.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've seen some pictures from New York in Times Square and places that are normally just constantly busy. So have you gone out at all, or are you really just staying
I
in?
mean, I have a dog. I walk her around. I'm lucky enough that I've got a roof and a few friends, and we hang out there and have a few beers sometimes. But no, I'm doing my part. I'm staying put.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing as well. You guys, you joined Method Man and Redman yesterday for a 420 chat.
Yeah.
How was that?
Uh, that was one of the more stoned times I've been in my life. It came as a kind of a last minute surprise opportunity. I wasn't gonna say no, but I was
Right.
definitely like just really, really high, just kind of.
Yeah. Well, so how does that work? And I've got a buddy who's weed's legal now here in Michigan, so he's been posting all these memes about how before it was always like share the love, share the blunt, pass the blunt, and now he's like no, like never again. I will never pass the blunt ever again. So I think
Yeah.
doing like a virtual smoke session is pretty
Yeah.
much the way to do it now, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I'm not a big blunt smoker, right? Like, I'm kind of, I smoke out of bowls and joints and whatnot, but I was like, there's no way I'm getting, in that group without rolling a blunt. So I put a blunt to my face and then kept going. And by the end of it, I don't even remember any of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
was
hope,
it recorded or?
yeah, I think the label recorded it because I don't even remember what the hell
Yeah.
we said. So,
How cool was that though to talk to Method Man and Redman? Like I remember listening to those guys in high school,
yeah,
15 years ago,
yeah,
senior in high school listening to them. So, was that something that you listened to growing up?
yeah, for sure. Are you kidding? I like hip hop a lot.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely. It was a great experience and flattered to have been a guest
Yeah.
amongst such legendary people.
Very cool. So also you shaved your head, which I
Mhm.
feel like has been a bit of a topic of conversation. Was that because you needed a haircut or?
I think people are like confused because I shave my head once every year or two, and it's something I've
Yeah.
done since I was 16 years old. This is
Okay.
nothing new. I think that I just have more attention now than I've had in the past. So people are like, "Oh my God, he shaved his head!" But like I do this all the time, and then I grow it back, and then I shave
Right.
it, and then I grow it back. It's like, to me, it's no big deal. I was surprised at how shocked people were this time. But I guess I've never like put out like a music video or done anything with my shaved head. So I guess for some people, they don't know that I do that.
Right. Well, and the time is right, and I think for like a lot of guys, once spring hits, shave your
I
head.
bick it too. I bick it down every other day. I just take the razor and I bick it down for a little while until I've decided I'm gonna grow it back. But basically, like this time, I'm like, I'm in quarantine. I'm in the same apartment every day. Like, if there's one less step I can do and not wake up with fucking bedhead, then
Right. Right.
it's
Someone
nice.
just asked a question. Well, what if your hair never grows back? Well, I mean, it always does.
It always does. And I guess if it didn't, I guess I have a lot of space to tattoo, right?
There you go. There you go. Well,
You
that's been, of
know?
course, the big thing is that, everyone's like, don't cut your own hair. And I think for guys and girls, it's a little bit different. But for me, like, I've got long hair. I don't cut my hair very often to begin with. It's been probably about a year, which is normal. So I
Hmm.
just like trim the ends myself. I'm like, it's long. Like, it's not, like, is anyone really going to notice? But I had been on a Zoom call with my friends. My hair was up in a ponytail. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to trim the ends while it was up. I had a couple of drinks. Yeah, no, it was real uneven. Like, I was like, oh, wow. Like, thank God I didn't do more than
Ooh.
like an inch and a half.
Good thing I don't have to go out to
Yeah.
many places. Yeah.
All my friends looked at me and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. So
Have
have
you
you
ever
done
shared?
anything? Has there been anything wild that you've done that you wouldn't normally do?
What, during quarantine?
Yeah.
Yeah, stay home.
Yeah.
That's pretty
How's that been
wild.
for you? Has it been hard?
It's been tough. That's probably the toughest part of it all because even when I'm not touring, I'm traveling. I'm constantly bouncing around. Like it's my favorite thing in the world to do is do you know what dark tourism is?
Mm-mm.
It's when you go to places that are like dangerous that you
Oh,
shouldn't
okay.
really go. So I enjoy going to places that I shouldn't be, and now I'm stuck
Right.
in a dangerous place. But I'm not traveling, so it's been the weirdest part for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of traveling. A year ago, I actually had gone to Costa Rica with a bunch of friends. Aw, who's the friend?
That's Ellie.
Hello, Ellie.
That's 11, babe.
But yeah, like I love to travel and I love to go out with my friends and there's all those, all the memes that are online that are like, this is an introvert's dream. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe you should check up on your extrovert friends because this is hard. Like I'm not used to like every day after work, we go out and get beers, I play softball, I go and do stuff. And so like every day I go home and I sit and I'm like, I have to find something to do. Like I have to find something to do because I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, are you a gamer?
No, no, and this is wild. So everyone's like, "Oh, you got to get into gaming and get a system and Animal Crossing and all this stuff." So I decided I was going to clean my basement. I've got a
Hmm.
bunch of storage crap down there. I found my original Nintendo and my Nintendo 64, and I was like, "Jackpot, right?
Nice,
Perfect. This is
nice.
great." Yeah, it's not compatible with my TV, and because everything's shut
Oh.
down, I have to get like an HDMI box
Hmm.
to convert, which I ordered online. It's not essential, so by the time I get it, I would assume that quarantine will be over.
Yeah, well, don't assume anything, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, I shouldn't. But
Jeez,
are you
'cause
are you a gamer? So have you been doing a lot of
I'm a
gaming?
gamer. I'm a casual gamer, but I've taken it a little bit more seriously now than before because I've got
Yeah.
a little bit more time. It's interesting. I actually don't. I've been busy. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like maybe
Yeah.
busier than if I were on tour. When I'm on tour, I kind of get into this flow of like, um, the show becomes the most important thing to me, and the lead up to it, the sound check. So I kind of have this scheduled like from 2 till 11 p.m. I've got this scheduled thing, and the other hours I kind of like do what I want. But because that income is no longer for me, right?
Right.
And until who knows when,
Right.
I am, and I can't say too much right now, but I've just been working on a lot of different projects right now that are different for me. I'm learning
Okay.
more about myself, and it's interesting. And but I feel like I'm busier than ever. Weirdly enough, I feel
That's a
extremely.
good thing.
It's a great thing. Busy's better than bored. That's what I always say.
Have you been working on musical projects or things kind of outside of that?
Both.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
other things other than music, if you can share, like what
That's
other
the
things?
stuff I can't share with you, but it's awesome, But
Okay.
musically, I can tell you that I've been working on um, our new Highly Suspects album. That's a thing. That's an exciting
Excellent.
thing. And then I've got a second band called Everything Is Sex, which is like a more of like a just straight punk band. And
Cool.
I've been working on writing some songs for that, some solo stuff, some ghostwriting stuff, just tons of music that consumes probably half of my life right now. And
Yeah.
then and then some other stuff that's just that you'll find out about, but I don't want to talk about it right here, right now.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll give us the inside scoop, right?
Yeah, of course. I'll let you know
Excellent.
first.
Have you talked to, I would assume you have, but like your bandmates and those guys, how are they doing? What are they up to?
They're good. They're gonna move to Nashville, of all places, I guess,
Are
and
they in
that's
New
kind of
York
weird.
town?
No, they're in Los Angeles right now.
Okay. Are they trying to move like while this is all happening?
Yeah, pretty soon.
Oh wow. Nashville
Yeah.
seems to be like a hub. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have anything against Nashville. I haven't spent a lot of time there. Usually when I go, it's to play a show. I'm there for a day or two. So I've always had a good time in Nashville. I have nothing bad to say about it. I think for me personally, it's a little small. I like bigger places, I feel like
Right.
I run into the same people all the time, even in New York or even in Los Angeles. So, and I like to be near a coast. I don't know why, but I've always, maybe because I grew up on Cape Cod, I like water.
Right.
Um, so I couldn't see myself living in Nashville, but I think it's going to be cool. They're going to set up like a studio there, and it'll be a good place for us to kind of meet in the mid. It won't be like as much New York to LA, it'll be
Right.
a little bit
Right.
easier to travel to. So yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
good. It'll be something different.
Nashville's, I mean, I've got a ton of friends that, in the music industry that have gone there. And so it's like you have a lot of resources if you're musically inclined. It seems like in Nashville.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
definitely a musical place for sure.
very cool. I got some people asking, what games have you been playing?
Apex.
Apex. Yeah, a bunch of people have been commenting on that. What's Apex about? Like, do I need to get
Apex
into
is
like PC gaming or something like that? Like, I got to find something to do.
No, so this is PlayStation 4 for me. I
Okay.
mean, some PC gamers are really good. They're very dexterous. They're doing
Okay.
10 things at once. Every finger is doing something different. I grew up, like you said, with Nintendo's and Nintendo 64. So the PlayStation 4 is where I want to keep it. Apex is like, have you heard of, I'm sure you have, I know you're not an avid gamer, but have you heard of Fortnite?
Yes.
So there is Apex and there is Fortnite. You are one or the other. There's nobody that's doing both, and
Okay.
I'm Team Apex. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a very interesting game to me. I think the way the developers have put it together. There's a storyline to it that goes so much deeper than most people think. So
Okay.
it's kind of a nice like escape from
Right.
the craziness. Plus, I earn income. I earn income doing it, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the people that I work with are into games, and they're like, "Oh, you can earn like a couple extra bucks." I'm like, "Listen, I'm telling you right now, nobody." I remember playing GoldenEye. Did you ever play GoldenEye on the
Oh yeah,
64?
yeah.
Okay, so my brother's huge into gaming. He loved to play it. I mean, I would literally have to beg him to let me kill him so that I could continue playing. I'd be like stuck in a corner. I'm like, Jason, this isn't any fun. Like, this is not fun for me. Can we play like Mario Kart or Mario Party or something?
Right,
That's
right.
a little bit more, worth it for my time. People want to know if you're willing to give out your gamer tag.
I give out my Twitch tag. It's Terrible Johnny MCID, where you can come
Okay.
join me. And then from there, like if people are chill enough and I catch their vibe, then sometimes I play games with fans. But I don't give up my like PlayStation Network tag because then it becomes a place where anybody can text message me and it gets crowded. I tried it once and I had to shut it down.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right on. So you guys were over in Europe when all of this kind of was hitting and borders were starting to close down. And I know there were some other bands that were also overseas and seemed a little bit chaotic. So how was that for you guys?
It felt like a spy movie. I felt like I was in a fucking Bourne movie.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, so we were in Zurich, Switzerland. We played the last show in Zurich until this shit's over. So that's kind of like cool to historically be like, we were the last ones in Zurich.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really like convinced yet. I was just kind of like in my own world. I didn't quite know how serious this pandemic was. So my whole thing was like, let's keep going as hard as we can until the government shuts us down. I didn't realize, I guess it was my own ignorance, and I was kind of like,
Yeah.
saying, we were like, yeah, just wash your hands, come to the show. Then I learned just how serious this was. I was behind, unfortunately so. And I even put out like tweets that were like, fuck it, come to the show. And I apologize for that because I just didn't realize that I was actually not helping the problem by having gatherings of people.
Right. But I think that, I mean, in all honesty, because I had gone, so we shut everything down here in Michigan. It was like March 16th, that weekend, like the 15th, 16th, like that was the time. And the week prior, I had gone to a show. I was out, I'd gone to a couple of shows, and everyone was talking about it, and it was like, so I don't think you're alone in not taking it as seriously as it was, because I kind of felt the same. I was like, I wash my hands. I don't keep my fingers in my mouth. Like, how serious is this? And I think that with the news, the constant news from both sides of, whether you're conservative or liberal, there's just so much that it's like, okay, where is the truth, and what is the truth, and what's really happening? And you know, so I don't blame you. I don't blame you for doing that. I don't think, you know, I don't think your fans do either.
I wasn't like too concerned with myself, and then I realized that like you can be a carrier, and it can affect children and older people a lot worse than, you know,
Right.
someone as healthy as me, because I'm the model of health. No, but
Yeah, right. You
well,
and
so
me
yeah,
both.
to answer your question, so we're in Zurich, and then we tried to go to Germany to play a show in Frankfurt, and then that's when it kind of started to get really serious, and the German government had shut down. And we were just in Germany like days before, and
Right.
they're like, "No, we're not going to put on the show," and I'm like, all right, Germany. And then we went to France because France was like, no, we're definitely going to put on the show. And we got to Paris and they shut it down. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, we got to get out of here. Borders were starting to close. It's like a ferry from France to England. And like hours before they closed that down. And then got on a plane from England and got into America. Like, I feel like in the nick of time before everything really started shutting down. And so it was like this 48 hours of like nonstop travel. It was scary. It was, you know, felt like I was on the lam.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and it's certainly, you know, this is something that's going to be in the history books and something that, you know, for people our age, and I would assume we're kind of similar in age, you know, this is the second, kind of the second really big, you know, thing that we have lived through, you know, 9/11 back 2001
Mhm.
to, you know, what's going on now. And I remember 9/11 distinctively being in high school, it
Yep.
happening. That's going to be in the history books, and then this is too. And so, you know, years from now, we'll look back, and I've had a lot of people say, like, you know, we just got to get through this now, and then we'll look back on it a year, 2 years, 3 years from now and be like, wow, that was really crazy. But, you know, hopefully it changes things for the positive, and people are, you know, less negative towards each other and less willing to start fights over nothing and bitch on the internet and, you know, be ignorant about, you know, everybody's
Yeah.
different. So who am I
I
to
think
say that I can go out, but, you know, your grandmother might be sick.
it will for a while, and then I think we will forget. And that's a sad thing to say, but I think that you know, for a while people will be more respectful and more cautious, and eventually time will erase people's like immediate traumatic urgencies, and things will go back to being the way they were at some point. But the disease is never going away. It's here now. It's going to be like, get your flu shot, get your COVID shot. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing that's going to stay with us. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And what else is interesting is that, like, I think I don't know if this is the case today, but I know that it was so weird to get back from all these scary places where Europe was like the hub of like everything going on, and then to hunker down in New York City, which became like the worst, the
Right.
worst place to be in.
Yeah. Well, and you're, I mean, in Brooklyn, you're like right there.
Mhm.
So,
Hospital, I mean, sirens and fire trucks and ambulances every single day. I live next to a nursing home too, so
oh
it's like
wow.
I'm seeing it. But I mean, you're in Detroit, right? Like
Yep.
Detroit proper?
No, I'm in like the next city over. I'm like 15 minutes,
Okay.
but
Big shout
I
out to
live in a
Michigan,
city.
by the way. I'm a huge fan. Like we fucking, you guys treat us so well all the time. Every time we
Yeah,
go up there,
nice.
Grand
Well, yeah,
Rapids,
and
Flint, Detroit, all of you guys are fucking always have our back. It's great. But I've heard that you guys are getting hit kind of hard right now. You might be
yeah,
a
the
little bit
city,
behind New
Detroit
York.
proper,
Yeah.
definitely is getting hit. I live in the next city over, which is actually like the second highest in the county in the state. Wayne County is the county that Detroit is in. But I think it's interesting because the numbers are, you know, the city that I live in is filled with nursing homes. Like there's like 23 nursing homes just in the
Oh
direct
wow.
area that I live in,
What are you in a
which is
retirement
obviously,
community?
dude, yeah, basically, I live
Okay.
in like a really wholesome neighborhood where like
Hmm.
everyone's got kids. I have to tell my friends when they come over, like, listen, like, keep an eye out because there's kids running in the streets. And I've lived there for like 8 years, but I'm like, man, I need to move to like a hip, like there's a VFW hall. I'm like,
That's cool.
yeah, I guess it's in between the radio station and my hometown, so
Okay.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's halfway in between. But
Yep.
but yeah, so Detroit's it's been wild. Our governor's done a lot, and there's a lot of disagreeing online, of course, whether or not what she's doing is right. You know, what she's doing is too much.
Yeah.
But when you look at the numbers and you see what's going on, like I said, it's been hard for me to sit at home, but I'm sitting at home.
Yeah. Are you watching anything good? Do I dare ask?
Oh man, I have been watching just all sorts of things. So Ozark, did you watch Ozark?
So fucking weird you're saying that because I'm on season 3, episode 2 right now.
Okay.
I had no idea
Did
that it
you
was a
just
good
start
show.
binge watching the whole series?
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, it looked to me when because it's not a newer show. I mean, there's 3 fucking seasons out, and
Right.
I had always kind of looked at it and been like, all right, that looks boring. And then I watched it because it's been consistently trending on Netflix, and I kind of ran out of things to watch, and I was like, all right. And then I was like, holy shit. I mean, it's a slow start, but then people just get popped in the head. I won't, no spoilers for you that are out there watching, but
Yeah,
yeah, the
well,
show's
and no
really
spoilers
good.
for you because I binge watched the 3rd season in like a day and a half, and I'll tell you what, the 3rd season
But
is
everyone's been
better.
telling me.
It's so good. It's so I won't tell you anything, but the 3rd season is better than the other 2 combined.
Yeah, I just got there last night actually after I was extremely stoned from that session, and I had like nightmares. I was like, wow. But I think in the next few days, hopefully, I'll find the time to finish it up because I've heard that season 3 is crazy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But I also find like, do you like those kind of mob mentality shows? Like, were you a big fan of Breaking Bad?
Never watched it.
Oh man, that's the next.
Mm-hmm.
Get on board with that one. It's a very similar theme, but when I finished watching Ozark, I was like, man, I gotta watch. Like, I really like watching people getting popped. Like, I gotta find another.
there's something kind of gratifying about this. Yeah.
Right. So I started watching Boardwalk Empire.
Great show. Yeah.
Great show. And then I realized I was dreaming about it. And I was dreaming that I was in the mob and like the mob was here at the radio station. And I was like, I gotta watch a sitcom. I gotta get like
Yeah.
I gotta get a sitcom going because
Put on
this is
some
a
Rick and
little bit
Morty
too
or something.
much.
Yeah.
What else have you been checking out?
Geez. I mean, I'm gonna say it. Tiger King. I watched that. That was obviously pretty wild stuff. Another one where I was kind of like, all right, cool. Like, it's not really. It's like, oh, here's this guy. He's pretty crazy. But then towards the end of it, you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is going on right now? It's crazy.
That one was weird because and I watched it too. I think everyone has. And I was talking to one of my really good friends about it, and I was like, well, what'd you think? And she was like, it sucked. Like, that whole thing sucked. Like, they all suck. All the people suck. It's like a train wreck that you can't look away from, though.
I want to know who have the, I mean, it's easy enough to look up, but there are some documentaries that are sometimes so mind-blowing, and I'm like, who is just thinking to myself, man, in 5 years, this is really going to pay off. Like, I'm going to film all this shit. I'm going to, like, really dig deep into this, because who would have thought that a story as simple as that would become such a phenomenon, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, so much so that they're reopening the case on Carol Baskin.
On Carol, yeah.
You know, I don't know. Do you think that Joe is guilty? Do you think that do you think he got set up?
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a guy that's got some problems. He seems like he's definitely been set up for certain things, but I'm also vegan, and I also don't approve of the way that, you know, the animals were treated and shit like that. So does he deserve to die in prison? I don't think anyone does, right? At all. But does he deserve to be punished for some of the things he's done? Absolutely.
Yeah. People want to know, have you checked out Parasite? Which I haven't watched yet.
Okay, so that's the one that's subbed, right? It's not in English?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put it on and fell asleep, not like because it sucked or anything. I just like was tired. I put it on. But no, I haven't gone all the way with that movie.
Yeah, I haven't checked that one out. And then there's another one, Pandemic, which I think is more of like a documentary,
I haven't watched it.
I don't know, and I haven't either, and I'm not sure that I want to.
Why? We're living in it.
Because we're living in it, and I'm like, I don't.
Look, maybe there's some helpful tips and tricks, but I think we know what to do. Stay the fuck away from people. Do this, you know.
Like, right. Some other things people are just, asking about: Peaky Blinders, Letterkenny. Have you ever watched Letterkenny?
No.
Oh man, it's a Canadian show, which of course Canada's very close to us.
Yep.
It's great. It's funny. It kind of gets your mind off of the series.
Well, I like Peaky Blinders. Is it like Peaky Blinders? Is that why you said Peaky Blinders? Or is that
no, Peaky Blinders was just somebody had asked that one. Have you watched that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good? I've heard
amazing. Yeah, if you're into the Ozark Boardwalk Empire type of thing, then you'd love Peaky Blinders. It's very, very well done.
What about Barry on HBO with Bill Hader?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, I just finished watching it last night. I thought it was great.
It's great. I don't know. I struggle with comedy.
Yeah.
I'm very particular. So
okay.
I just kind of lose interest. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if I'm watching something, say like Ozark, where you kind of have to stay focused,
Right.
then I'll stay focused. If I'm watching comedy, I find myself kind of like drifting to my phone and then rewinding and missing it. And so it's not that I don't like comedies, it's just that they don't keep my attention as long.
What about movies?
Movies.
Any good favorites out there?
So me and Matt's the rhythm guitarist in the band, and we watch the dumbest movies on purpose. Like, I really like in-depth things, right? I read, I like art, I like going to museums, I like going to galleries. But for some reason with movies, I like futuristic, post-apocalyptic movies that are really bad.
Okay. Okay.
So I can make fun of them.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I don't like horror movies, but I love bad horror movies. Like, there's a
Right.
movie, I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime or HBO. It's called Thanksgiving.
Okay, haven't seen it.
It is so bad. Like, it's the opening scene is like a pilgrim with her boobs out, like running.
Yeah, see, that to me is my form of comedy, is watching movies that are
Out.
supposed to be good and they're not, you know?
Yeah. Peep out Thanksgiving, because that one will definitely give you a chuckle. In honor of 420 yesterday, what about stoner movies?
Stoner movies, again, I just like, for a time when I was younger, yeah, shit was funny, but I don't know.
Moved on?
Yeah, I've moved on.
Okay. All right. So the last album, you said you guys are working on a new Highly Suspect movie. The last album was different. I thought it was great.
Thanks.
The one before that, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, or Died Wolf, was, I mean, to this day, probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Thanks a lot.
Like that's such a great album. The last one, though, definitely a little bit different. So, and you said that you really love hip hop, and I think that it reigns so true on this last album. So, was it a conscious effort to steer away and
not to steer away, but to just do what we wanted to do? I mean, look, every time we've made music, whether it was on The Boy Who Died Wolf or whether it was on MCID or anything before that, it's always been exactly what we wanted to do. And we wanted to do we were just more, there's so much good shit out there right now that we're listening to. And so we were inspired by so much things that aren't just typical bass, drum, guitar. Right. There's a lot that can be explored. And I think I'm actively trying to think right now of a successful artist who has stayed the same every album.
Right.
And I'm having a hard time doing so.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were like, oh, you did a rap song, you must be a sellout. And I'm like, no, the definition of a sellout would be to do another fucking Lydia or do something exactly the same as I've done that I already know works.
Right.
I didn't know that works. That's easy enough to do. We all wanted to kind of like see what else we could do, and it was a massive risk, you know? Yeah, exactly. So
well, in the live show, and I actually, because we work at the WRIF. The WRIF is our rock station here in Detroit. But I mean, I'm a music fan. I have been since I was a kid. But I listen to everything.
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? Like, I think and like you said, we're probably pretty close in age. When I went to school, there were definitely cliquey things. Like, you were a punk kid, or you were a hip hop kid, or I'm a goddamn grown man right now, and my musical palette is like, especially being a musician, like I like everything from jazz to classical to hip hop to EDM to rock to everything in between. Like, if I'm driving down the Pacific Coast Highway and it's sunny out, I might want to put on like fucking, what's that Australian band? I'm blowing it right now. What's their name? You know what I'm talking about?
The Australian band.
They're great. Australian. They're why am I drawing a blank right?
I feel like I know.
Can anybody out there help us?
The what?
Can anybody else? Tame Impala. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like, if I'm going, yeah, they're great, right? But like, if I'm, up in my sex room, I might be listening to Sade. You know what I mean? If I'm at the gym, I might be listening to Avenged Sevenfold. Like, it just changes depending on like what my mood is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's much the same with writing music. Like, everybody that's like, your MCID album wasn't as good as the last two. Well, I'm sorry that you don't feel that way. You can go listen to the last two anytime you want. They're there for you. But for me, and for the rest of the band, we wanted to push it and try different things. And
I think that when you evolve, because even if there are people that, it wasn't as good as the last album, there are still rock songs on that album. And I mean, you're not always going to love every single song that's on an album, right? And
Right.
if this brings new people that have never listened, that maybe, you know, aren't
Sure.
huge rock fans, but they love
Sure.
hip hop and hear a hip hop song that you've
Mm-hmm.
done, and now they're a fan of yours. You're just
Right,
really
and that has
expanding
happened.
your fan base.
Yep. Yep. I think there are some diehards that are like, you're not rock and roll. And it's like, all right, that's your opinion. But overall, I think we've expanded the fan base. And again, that wasn't the point. It wasn't the point. It wasn't like, let's do this so we can nab this person. It's just like, we genuinely listen to Billie Eilish. We genuinely listen to Fantagram. We genuinely listen to Young Thug. Like all these different types of artists that have inspired us over the years. Why not? Why not explore and see what we're capable of? And it's not going to stop there. It's going to get weirder and weirder, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's great. And I think that being able to be a musician is such a talent, and to be able to create, like, it is art, and you are
No,
an
it's not.
artist.
It's torturous. It's fucking torturous.
But that's what makes it good. Like, that's what, that emotion, you know, like that's what people are drawn to. And I think it's great. And I think the live show, because that was, I think, your show here, it ended up being rescheduled to December. So probably one of the last shows I saw last year before the end of the year. And it was awesome. Like, it was, if you're a fan of music as a whole, your show was awesome, because it
Thanks
had
so
rock,
much.
and it had hip hop, and it had effects, and it was engaging, and it was fun. It was a fun night out, you know.
Yeah, it's more fun for us too. It's like festivals, they work, right? And festivals work because you can go from the Santa Gold tent over to watching Slayer, over to watching Bring Me the Horizon. You get to jump around and see different things and explore different things. So like our shows now, we're trying to make it feel a little bit more like a micro festival. Like I have a little bit of something for everyone and bring you on a roller coaster emotionally. Like there's moments where we're out there in glowing suits doing hip hop, and then there's moments where it's just a spotlight on Rich and he's got an acoustic guitar and he's singing Arizona, you know? Like why not have fun with our shows? I mean, that's our job. So,
yeah.
I appreciate you
If
saying.
you guys are having fun, then we're having fun.
Exactly.
And I think that some people, you know, just like internet trolls, some people just get too, you know, they're too much like, well, it's not rock and roll, and it's like,
No,
rock and roll is a mentality, man.
can
Like, if I
stay
hear
right
Boomer
where
person,
they are.
what'd you say?
They can stay right where they are behind their keyboard and not go experiment with life.
Right.
Not my problem.
Yeah, right. Like, do you, man? Which I think is great, and it's a great mentality to have, especially right now. And before you had hopped on, I was asking people, like, you know, what have you guys been doing? A lot of people said that they're picking up instruments for the first time.
Sure.
So, which is awesome. So, what do you have, like, any advice for maybe people that are, you know, getting started and playing music? And
yeah, just play. Just play. Don't worry about what anybody tells you or what anybody thinks or what, you know. If it sounds good, then do that again. You know, I'm not trained. I don't know how to read music. I don't know theory at all.
It's hard. God, it's hard.
So yeah, so I just play by ear and I just do things until they sound really good. You know what I predict there's going to be? I'm actually nervous because I think there's going to be a lot of, and I hate to say competition, but I guess that is the reality we live in. There's going to be a lot of good art coming out of this time, which is amazing. But so many people are home right now. I mean, I've got like my little setup right here, which is just basic shit. But I mean, I'm on it every day making new sounds and making new music. And I think that I'm one of hundreds of thousands of people that are doing that. So I would anticipate a lot of new albums coming out, which is great.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Yeah, and we've been, you know, we've been doing these live chats with a bunch of riff bands and people that we know, and that's kind of been like the mentality is a lot of guys going on live stream and, hey, we're just gonna sit in my basement and play music and see what happens. And but it's so crazy because if this pandemic was happening in the 90s, like let's say it was the year 1998, it would be, we would be in a world of difference than what we're able to do right now. And the fact that we can sit here and talk to each other, we can bring, you know, hundreds of fans, you know, we've got a couple hundred people that are watching us right now, that maybe this is helping get them through this. And if it was the 90s, who knows, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think we're fortunate in this time to have the technology that we do have. I think we're unfortunate in other ways because I think that same technology can lead to anxiety. It's weird times. It's weird times.
It's so weird. It is. But like I said, I think it's great that we're able to come together and do things like this. And, you know, a lot of people say that they've been cooking a lot more because obviously we can't go to restaurants. Have you
Not
been?
me. Not me.
No?
No.
Not your thing?
Nope.
Are you ordering out? Are you doing like?
No, I'm not doing that either. I'm not good at. I guess I'm good at cooking. Like I can make things that taste good, but I hate doing it. I can't stand being in the kitchen. For me, that's like, and some people love it. Some people just love to cook. They find an art behind it. They're really good at it. There's something calming for them or rewarding for them. For me, it's like, I don't know. I'd rather be spending that time doing anything else. I don't like doing dishes. I don't like any of it. But I'm also not ordering out because I don't want like weird Uber people showing up with germs. So,
So what are you eating then?
well, if you're following my Twitch, you'd know because I go on Twitch a lot and eat sometimes. I eat like
I believe that's what the platform is for, to go on and eat.
yeah, it's a form of ASMR, right? People can hear me chew. I eat a lot of dry ramen packets.
Okay.
Like that's how much I don't like cooking. I don't even boil the ramen.
Oh, wow.
I just eat the ramen like dry, sprinkle some powder on. I make plant meat sandwich. I'm vegan, so I you know anything that's plant based, salads, shit like that. But I guess my staple is saltines.
Okay. I got a
Yeah,
box of saltines at my house.
and
I'm
then
on board.
Soylent, which is like this type of shake that has like all the nutrients you need to survive in it, type of thing. So
Okay.
protein shakes, vitamins, shit like that. But food to me is just so much, it's so time consuming. So usually like I'll find something, stuff it in my face and move on to my next project, I
Right.
guess. Cooking is not for me.
Gotcha. Somebody had asked a question, wants to know if you ever have plans of, and obviously touring plans are for the foreseeable future are on hold, but they want to know if you're going to come to Latin America. Have you
Yeah,
been down there?
yeah. We actually did The Boy Who Died Wolf in Bogota. We recorded the whole thing down there. We spent a few
Okay.
months. There's a great rock scene down there, great music scene. Um, we had plans. We had a lot of worldwide plans this year that got kind of stifled. But yeah, we'll absolutely be hitting. I want to go everywhere. There's no place I don't want to play. So
What's the first thing you want to do once it's safe to go out?
probably go back to LA and hang out with my LA hoes.
I miss hanging out with my friends
Yeah,
so much,
yeah,
so much. We get on, we call each other and text, and it's like it's just not the same. Like I got a couple of girlfriends who are like, let's get drinks. I'm like, it's not getting drinks. Like we are not. Like yeah, all right, I'll drink on camera.
yeah.
It's not the same. It's
It's
not the
not the
same.
same. It's like I said. I'm fortunate enough to have a few friends in this building that also don't leave and go out, and we're past our quarantine. We know that we're safe when we hang out, and if one of us catches it, we all go down, type of thing. So
Right.
I do get some human interaction, but yeah, I'm gonna say it right here. I just want to fuck. I can't wait to go back to like hanging out with my
I'm sure
hoes.
there's a lot of people that feel that way. Well, because
Yeah,
that's the other thing is like online dating. So like the Tinder meetups and stuff, and obviously like people are still meeting up.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, is that worth the risk?
No,
Hard no.
no, hard no, no. I mean,
Hard
I don't do the online Tinder thing anyway, you
no.
know.
Right.
But I definitely would not right now advise Tinder being a safe or healthy option for anyone.
No. No, not at all. Not at all.
But I do miss
Um,
being able to just go to like a bar room and just like meet somebody, you know, organically, and I can't do that anymore. So.
yeah. I mean, I just miss going out and talking to random people, being in
Mhm.
my group of friends, you know, sitting at the bar, talking to my bartenders.
What's your home life like? Do you live with anybody?
No, I live alone with my
Same,
cat.
same. I have
Yep.
my dog, so I mean, I feel you. It's it can be maddening. It can be beautiful because I bet you there's been so many times when you're like, oh, I just wish I was home right now. I don't want to be here or there, or the other. Like, what's so behind you right now? You've got the 101 WRIF. Are you in the studio or is that like a homemade?
Yeah, no, I'm at the station right now. We're in
Okay,
our green room. So we're allowed. There's like 12 or 15 of us that are allowed in the building.
okay,
We don't really come into the same rooms as each other though. We're just kind of keeping our distance. I see maybe 2 or 3 people a day, and then I go straight home to my cat
yeah.
and usually crack a beer. I've been telling everybody this is going to be my video series that I do. I like to play sports. I'm a big like athlete. I like to watch sports and stuff. And I've never really been good at basketball and like
Okay.
running and dribbling at the same time. Like
Okay.
I'm not good at it. So I ordered a basketball.
Nice.
So that
That's my game.
Is
Practice
it?
up. Next time I'm up in Detroit, I'll teach you some things. That's my game.
Oh man, that would be awesome. Yeah, my goal was I had made a bet with a buddy of mine that, you know, played. He's real tall. I was like, we're gonna go 1-on-1, and he was like, dude, I've seen you dribble. Like, there's no way that we're ever gonna do that. So I was like, that's it. We're
Practice
in
makes
quarantine.
perfect.
Yes, yes. So I'm waiting for the hoop to arrive, but I've got the ball, so I've been just like running up and down my driveway, just
Yep.
like dribbling. So I've been doing that. It's finally getting nice out. So
tape a hockey puck to your hand.
okay.
You have a hockey puck?
I think I have one in my basement. Yes.
Wrap it around your hand in duct tape.
Okay.
It'll shape your hand into this like natural curve and dribble the ball with the hockey puck in your hand. Not only is it weighted, but it'll give you the right hand posture. Just a little tip for you as far as learning how to dribble a basketball.
Okay.
And then
I
guarantee you,
once
you get good at that, remove the hockey puck when you're good at that, and you'll be so much better.
Is because that's my question now. Then with dribbling, is it more about the fingers than your entire hand?
Both, yeah. You don't just slap it. You're not just like slapping it. It's definitely finger play. So if you've got that hockey puck there, you're not using the hockey puck. Don't try to hit it with the hockey puck. Try to use your fingers.
Right,
you know?
right. Okay,
and
yeah.
Cushion it as it comes up. Like, you ever seen the Mighty Ducks?
Yes, yes.
Do you know when they're practicing with an egg?
Yeah.
And they cushion the egg with the, it's kind of that, you want to cushion the basketball when you're dribbling it with your hand. Let it rise before you push it back down. There's a virtual basketball lessons right here with Terrible Journey from Highly Suspects on 101 WRIF. If you're out there listening at home and you want to get better at basketball, use a hockey puck.
Dude, it's for real. Like, next time you guys come to town, we'll set some stuff up. We'll do some one-on-one or some horse or something. But
cool.
Have you found any other like hobbies? I mean, obviously you said you know music and reading, and you're working on other projects. But just like things for yourself, have you found yourself like discovering things that you would have never done before or never knew that you liked?
Yeah. All right. So being a talk show host, I've got a talk show host now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where I bring on guests. And I set up my computer and my webcam, and I bring on guests, and I talk to them, you know, much like we're doing right now. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to being able to be on stage in front of a bunch of people and, you know, sing with a little bit of talking in between. But now I'm having full-on hour, 2-hour-long podcasts and shit like that. I had no idea that I had the capability to do that. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So there's that. I'm also better at dribbling a soccer ball now with my foot.
See, I can actually dribble a soccer ball better than I can actually dribble a basketball.
Weird. Interesting.
I don't know.
It's not weird, but interesting.
It's odd. Well, I grew up, I played like softball. I'm a golfer. I did gymnastics, ice skating. So it was like odd sports, but anyways, it's not enough about me. Well, that's cool. And so you can, people can watch your talk show on your Twitch page.
Yeah. Yep.
And what was your Twitch handle again?
It's Terrible Johnny MCID is my Twitch handle. So, and it's free. You can subscribe, and then you don't get commercials and shit like that. But if you want to just come on and hang out, and we've got a chat room. Sometimes I'm just playing video games. Sometimes I have guests on. I've had Gary V on, and Mike Stud, and Ellie DeHay, a bunch of my different friends, and my little brother. And who knows who's coming up next? You know, it's always different.
That's
but
awesome.
It's fun. It's a good way for everybody to kind of talk and interact and hang out and get to know me outside of what people say on Reddit.
F the haters. That's what I say.
I've never been to Reddit. By the way, all y'all Reddit trolls, y'all think you get into me, and I've never ever been to Reddit. Once.
There you go. One last quick question. Leah from the band Slothrust, who I believe, yes, okay.
Only tattoo I have on my body of a band.
Dude, I love them. And I saw them. They played a small venue. They were supposed to open up for you guys on the first, before the show had gotten rescheduled. And did you grow up with her? I've never met her, but like her and I've like talked through like Twitter, and they're so great. I love that band so much. And so did you guys grow up together?
Well, we came up together. We didn't grow up together, but
Okay.
we. I think I was like 22 when I was in New York City, and I saw her band for the first time. I was 22 or 23. I just moved here, and I saw her band playing in a small bar, and I saw like some of the music videos they'd put out, and I was just like enamored by this band. I was like, "Fuck!" They were such a great influence, such a great inspiration. Um, and then about 2 months later, I saw her on the subway. I saw her on the train, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go say hello and introduce myself and be like, I'm in a band too."
Yeah.
But I chickened out. I was too nervous, so I didn't say anything. And then about a month after that, we were playing a show in a little bar called the Trash Bar. Rest in peace, Trash Bar. It's no longer there, but it was a little Brooklyn dive bar, probably in front of 6 to 7 people, like our closest friends, my ex-girlfriend, like just nobody really. And Leah was running the soundboard. It was
Oh,
her
cool.
part-time job, was to run sound for different bands. And after the show, she was like, "Hey man, that was really great. I love your band. I love your sound." And I was like, "Well, the funny thing is, I'm a huge fan of yours." And then, we had some drinks, and the rest is history. We became such great friends, and always had shows together, and spent a decade in New York, like doing it together. And now we do it all over the world together.
Yeah.
Love that band. Nothing
Yeah,
but love.
they're great.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was super excited. They played a super small club in the
Hmm.
city, and I ended up talking to the guitarist or one of them. They were standing outside, and we were just kind of like going back and forth. And then I like realized there was some connection between you guys and them, and I was like, wait a second, because I also love Highly Suspect. And
Hey,
now they are somehow connected with this band. And for a while, I thought maybe she was your sister or something. I didn't know.
well, we had
Um,
that rumor going for a while. We made people
yeah,
believe that.
yeah. Just for fun, just decided to tell people
Just
that.
for fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of my girlfriends out in LA, we just told everybody we were having a baby. People were mad at that, but it was an April Fool's prank. But I don't know. I like to fuck with people.
Yeah. Keep
It's
it
fun.
fun. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go because we've been talking for like an hour now. I thank you so much for
Of
joining us.
course.
To everybody who has chimed in and checked it out. We're gonna post the video on our website, so
Cool.
I'll send you the link. But stay safe out there. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
everything that you're doing. Good luck with all your projects, and God, we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, definitely. In the meantime, 101 WRIF, Detroit and surrounding areas, call in, request my songs, get my shit spinning. Ellie,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a plug of my music, Ellie. You're over there dropping bones. Spin our songs. It was great to talk to you, and I hope to play a little one-on-one against you next time we see you.
Absolutely, man. Johnny, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yep. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. We're going to get the video posted up on our website. So if you missed it or if you missed anything, you just tuned in, we've got another one coming up on Friday with Dirty Honey and Skillet as well. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.